Welcome back to Kaguya-sama Love is War. Anime Review episode number 18. Actually no, it's 19, excuse me. Yeah, it's episode 19. Now, here's the thing when it comes to this particular review. I'm discussing the last two episodes of the season. And you're probably thinking, why are you discussing the last two for? Didn't the air one isn't going to be coming next week? No, there is not going to be one next week because they decided to air pretty much the finale. It's kind of like an hour-long finale, probably due to the fact that next weekend is a holiday weekend for here in the States. So there's that reason. These two episodes roughly cover 6 chapters. Actually, more like 7 because episode 12, the 12th season, episode 36. Oh, by the way, the name of these episodes are, for episode 36, we have Kaguya Wants to Confess, parts 2 and 3. Dual Confessions, part 1. 37 is basically the Dual Confessions, parts 2 and 3. And the Shikun After Party. Yep, that's simply the thing with this one. Now, these episodes cover chapters 131, not 131, 132 through 138. And you could say that they kind of skipped over most of chapter 138 or 128. Unknown if they're going to basically put that back in. I highly doubt they will. So, what happens in these episodes? Well, we pick up where we left off last week where we have the president telling Kaguya that he's going to Stanford. Then, of course, basically, she's like, we're happy with him. And then next time you see him, right after the scene, is not until toward the end of the very next, well, actually toward the end of the very next episode, mind you. Yes, he's actually revealed to be the Phantom Thief that actually first was mentioned just a couple episodes ago. Kaguya's basically pondering about that, and then I find out, oh yeah, basically, he pretty much basically arranged to have Kaguya go with him to Stanford. Yep. Then later on, of course, they do be able to see some signs from the. Now we do see her fire this flaming arrow because she's an archer and she's very good at it. Fires at the pile. Then of course she meets up with him after finding out the clues. Yeah, I forgot to mention this for the last review, where there was this banner that had these clocks and looked suspiciously like the very same clock you see in the opening title sequence. I don't know, maybe that's the creators doing an Easter egg, or the fact that, well, they probably felt like it was hinted at something later. So Kaguya goes to the clock tower, what looks suspiciously like Big Ben from London, and she goes to talk to Miku, where I'll talk about the other characters soon, but I want to talk about this one first. So basically, he asks her to go with him to Stanford, and she says yes. And then she's like, and of course, before this, puts the cloak on her, and he's like, okay, you do something for me. Stand there. And then she gets on her tippy toes, and then she proceeds to kiss him on the lips. I'm like, wow, good going, girl. Yep, you finally got to kiss the man you love. And then she's finished, she's like, that's how I feel about you. Basically, she confessed. The president didn't really confess yet. So, they're kind of in a relationship. Yep. Meanwhile, though, Chica, just doing her best to defend this, doesn't really follow up with it at all. We see her in the episodes sporadically in these two episodes. Doesn't really do very much at all. We do see her briefly at the end of the very next end of like the finale, where we see her trying to do a new tabletop game, and we do see that Kaguya and Miku, where they're holding hands behind the desk. To keep the reason why they're doing this is because they want to keep their relationship a secret. They do hint that they're going to tell Chica later, but here's the thing. Kaguya's father is rich. In the case of Miku's father, he's a factory manager. Now, in the case of his father, he approves of Kaguya, no problem. As a matter of fact, he basically is willing to accept her as daughter-in-law. It's her father that's something else. Like, he is not getting along with it at all. So in the case of Ikuma, where he basically is with the girl he loves, And he's like, oh, I'm going to confess her later, despite the fact that according to everybody else, he actually already did that. And Tessa's like, oh yeah, I'll figure out how I feel about how I'll respond to you, or I'll give you an answer. And that's it for that one. We do see him later on giving, well, all the campfires, going to see, I believe it's Miko and her best friend decided to dance. Of course, her best friend decided to dance with her instead of with her best friend. Like, why? Don't know why. It's kind of weird. Then, of course, basically, you see that the display woman, I believe this one's Miko. There's another Miko here. There's like two of them. Where basically gives her basically a quarter of the campfire because she's on patrol, because she's participating in the community. She can't participate in the damn thing. And she's like so happy for this. And, well, that's it to talk about for these 2 episodes. Oh, by the way, one thing I also forgot to mention. Her reaction to this, basically, when she asks Kaguya about the kiss, she said it was awesome. She really enjoyed it. She said it tastes like lemon, because he had corn dog. Corn dog with ketchup. With lemonade. Yep. But hey, at least they accomplished something with this arc. Having Kaguya make out with Miku, something that his series has probably been hinting at since like episode 1. Yep. They're 2 okay episodes. I kind of like them. I think that this arc has been quite interesting, to say the least. It's just that, well, some of the romantic stuff basically tends to go a bit over the top of the series. But that's how the series is in a nutshell. I figured, oh, okay, you know what? I'm just basically giving my final thoughts here, instead of doing a separate video. Final thoughts on season 3, and if there's a potential for a 4th season. Well, this was actually a pretty good season, and if you're curious though, like how much the manga was covered for this particular season. Well, in the case of this particular season, I mean, if you think about it, you have roughly, well, in the case of in the first couple episodes, there was still 1 chapter they skipped over. Actually, about 2 chapters they skipped over the season. Yes, this season covered chapters 93 to 95, 96 covering OVA. I might cover it later. Excuse me. You might think, okay, well, what about 100? 100 was covered last season. So, yeah, this also covered chapters 102 to pretty much looks like to be like, well, 109. 110 was covered at 3 PV. And basically you have like 111. And then like 113 through like 138. So, a good amount of chapters, though they did skip over 2. I don't really know why 92 was skipped over. It's just kind of weird. I mean, as of right now with this season, these are the chapters overall, they still have not been adapted for the series. 2, 4, 10, 13, 15, 22, 32, 47, 49, 75 to 77, 92, 112, and currently 152 to the current stuff they have for the manga. Yes, which I... And if you are curious, though, about basically where I'm at in the manga, the last chapter I read for the series was chapter 201. That was like a little over a year ago. Unlike, let's say, another series I caught up with recently, which was Walking Demons Americon. That was only about 20 chapters behind. This one, I'm over 60. I'm like 66 chapters behind on the series. When I get back to the series, eventually, of course. Yep. Also, I did make an announcement here because I don't have time to do it with the case closed. So I'm going to hand it out tomorrow along with Baruto. So basically, after tomorrow, there is no new anime for like about a week. Because Monday, still nothing. I got nothing new that day. Tuesday is going to be free just for 1 week. And then next week, basically, we're going to start some new anime. And Wednesday, of course. The Wednesday might have a new episode. I don't know. But nothing new Thursday or Friday. The Friday might be adding something. You'll find about that tomorrow. But in the case of Saturday, nothing Saturday. Saturday, there's nothing. There's no case closed next week. But in the case of case closed, well, the one definitely came out today. but the next episode doesn't air for at least for 2 weeks. Yep. And we still have to wait for whenever One Piece comes back. So tomorrow will be kind of busy. So tomorrow, expect to see reviews for My Hero Academia, Boruto, Case Closed, and also Fruit Revolution. So roughly about 4 videos tomorrow, maybe more. Okay? See you next video. Bye.